And we're back out of here on a Monday, the 6th day of August 2018. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley is on the air, ready to start another week of television entertainment, television information, television fun. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, news director Steve here to my immediate left, Kat in control, and Keith Madsen in the green room. He is the author of the book, The Sons and Daughters of Toussaint, a local author. Fairly new to the area, but he reached out to us and I said, I'd love to have you on the show, Keith. We'll talk about his book that he wrote.
Oh, super.
And some of his
What's
background.
What's it about?
It's we'll find out in about half an hour, Steve.
I figured you'd read it and done your homework.
I glanced at it briefly. So it looks fascinating.
Yeah.
It looks fascinating. It's a novel.
Any pictures?
No, it has maps.
I'm
It has
kidding.
maps. See, look, I love books with maps. So you can go back and you can mark that, then you can go back and say,
Cool.
okay, where are we? So it takes place in Haiti.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. So, yeah.
This will be a fascinating
Toussaint.
conversation. Yes. Toussaint.
That's what you
Toussaint.
said.
Whatever. I feel like a big Toussaint with butter on it to get me going today. Lots of news to get to, mostly good news on the Cougar Creek fire, Steve.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of fire fronts this morning. Things kind of calmed down a little bit over the weekend, giving them a chance to get a better handle on these things. But and that, of course, in preparation for what we expect weather-wise later in the week.
it's going to be hot. This is going to be a really tough week for those folks who don't like air pollution and don't like hot weather. It's going to be a miserable week for that. It's just going to be smoky and hazy and hot. Very, very hot. In fact, we have an excessive heat watch that starts on Wednesday afternoon, goes through Friday evening, with Thursday the hottest day of the year, a forecast high of 105 on Thursday. We're going to not get to triple digits today, Steve, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, triple digits, a lot of it.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of like a chest cold that doesn't go away.
Yeah, it's a big dome of high pressure, and it's trapping all the smoke and the gunk and the and stuff all over north central Washington. That's now a word. In fact, right out of the box, let's get you some air quality updates. Now, we're okay down here in the Wenatchee Valley, but there's three places specifically we're keeping a close eye on. Right now in Chelan, the air quality is unhealthy in Chelan. It is unhealthy also in Mazama/Winthrop. It's also unhealthy. The bad spot is Twisp. It is very unhealthy in Twisp, over 200 on the scale.
I've seen some pictures up in that area. Of course, you've got the Gilbert fire that's burning up in the Twisp River Road area, and then you also, folks in Chelan are feeling the effects of the Cougar fire.
Yeah.
So, and there's a new fire that just started in the Blue Creek area yesterday. And that's about 50 acres. So.
Up near Fish Lake, is that right?
Yeah.
Slightly above
just
it?
north of that, yeah.
So once again, unhealthy for the folks living in the Chelan area and in the Winthrop/Mazama area. In the Twisp area, it is very unhealthy. My guess is that's not going to change very much at all. No place for the stuff to go. There's no wind in the forecast. There's no rain in the forecast. Just a not a very pleasant forecast, really. I mean, it's.
We need something to wash it away. Is what we need.
There's nothing out there that's going to happen. So. It's another week of turning on the AC and not turning it off. Forecast details are coming up. We also have sports, of course. Mariners finally got off the schneid, but boy, they're going in the wrong direction. But the Apple Sox are going in the right direction. They may make the playoffs just yet. They had a great weekend against Victoria. We're happy about that. We'll talk about that when we get to sports. We also have the obscure holiday today and history birthdays, and everyone is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion.
Well, at least we had some good news over the weekend. The Yankees were swept.
That's not good news.
That is great news.
Hang in there, guys. Hang in there, Lou.
Go Red Sox.
Yeah, my Yankees had a bad weekend, but we won't talk about that right now because we love Mondays. Let's go around the valley. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's make our tour. Let's see what Kat has decided we're going to look at this morning. All of these cameras, these high-definition, movable cameras.
And they all look the same today.
Yeah, it's all going to be courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless, and that, of course, is the cross camera. Gives you a pretty good idea of the haze. This is the thickest haze of the day is here now. Shortly after sunrise, relative humidity is at its highest, and so the smoke can really get trapped down on the valley floor. As the day progresses, it will get better, but you have to show some patience. And as we mentioned before, very warm to downright hot throughout the course of the weekend. No wind at all to scour out the skies. That's our cross camera.
A couple of months ago, that river was swollen, and now it's kind of receded back to its normal flows during this time of the year. Camera 2,
Kat says, let's pay a visit to Arrondo Rock. Look at that.
Yeah.
Usually we can make out all of US 97A, which would be on your left-hand side of the screen going up towards Chelan, but that's just thick, gunky gunk.
Yeah.
So trust me, the Columbia River is there. Aniad is there. But it is very, very, and this is the height of the vacation season up in Chelan. This can't be good for them. Camera 3. Well, there's that's, I want to say, Steins. That's Steins Hill, looking out over the
A little bit of a
Cashmere,
breeze,
and
but not
Dryden.
enough to scour the sky.
No. That could be a slightly deceptive. That's an exposed camera. You can see that the evergreen trees are moving a little bit, but we're not expecting any wind really at all. Whatever wind we're having today, not much. Northwest wind about 6 miles an hour. But that's exposed, so it's going to blow around a little bit more than normal. It's certainly not that windy on the floor. And finally, camera 4 is a trip up to Nantipoc Ridge, I believe. That is Nantipoc Ridge, and it's pretty hazy up there. There's no really escaping the smoke unless you go over to the Puget Sound area, and they're going to have another heat wave too, with temperatures well into the 90s. Oh, this is an early shot. So we are assuming that is from the same camera, the Nantipoc Ridge camera. We're assuming that's the fire that we talked about up above the Fish Lake area, Steve?
That must be, yeah.
So that was not a live shot. That shot was taken about 40 minutes ago, shortly after sunrise. So there you go.
Yep.
You ready for some hot weather, folks? And that's a live shot, courtesy of Sky-Fi, Localtel's high-speed wireless setup. So hazy and smoky and yucky, and we got very, very warm weather heading our way. From the National Weather Service, here is your forecast. As you can tell, 97 degrees, hazy, smoky all day today. Northwest wind around 6 miles an hour. That's not enough to make anything happen. Overnight low tonight of 68. Then we go 100 on Thursday, 104 Wednesday, 105 on Thursday.
Are these record-breaking possible?
Once we get to Wednesday and Thursday, it is a possibility. It is a possibility. It's going to be hazy, though. Big ridge of high pressure. The smoke will be trapped. The lid is on. No place for the stuff to go. So remember, we had that big warm stretch about 10 days ago. This is a longer stretch of even warmer temperatures coming our way.
Well,
excessive heat watch starts Wednesday afternoon, goes through Friday evening, because even the overnight lows, as you can see, aren't going to dip below 70.
Well, hopefully by next weekend we can see a little bit of relief.
I would suggest, if you haven't done so already, to check your filters on your air conditioning unit. Whether you have an in-window unit that just cools a room or two, or if you have a central AC system, check your filters and make sure they're clean.
Keep an eye on it now from here on in.
Because they're going to get a workout. They're going to get a workout indeed. Wish I could give you better news on the weather front. I think at this point people are really tired of this stuff.
Well, 3 or 4 months we'll be hoping for warmer weather, won't we?
Yeah, that's true. We shouldn't complain. Really, we shouldn't. Just about 8 minutes after the hour on this Monday edition. It's 65 degrees outside of our studios, on our way to a high of 97. Going to take a quick 1-minute break, and then Steve Hare will wrap up your weekend news-wise. And it was a very busy weekend, not just fire-wise, with all kinds of stuff happening. Steve will let you know what happened over the weekend when we come back. And the news is brought to you by Cascade Medical Center. Trained by the physical therapist who loves the outdoors as much as you do. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
The physical therapists at Cascade Medical love the outdoors as much as you do. But sometimes where there's love, there's also pain. Let us help you get back to the activities that you love. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
And on this August 6th Monday, good morning and welcome back to the program. Some of the stories we're following for you this morning. First of all, good news to report on the Cougar Creek fire this morning. Crews are making progress in their containment efforts, and the threat to homes in the Entiat Valley has decreased, at least to the point that all Level 3 restrictions now have been reduced to Level 2. Now, Level 2 evacuations are in effect from Mad River Road north to the end of the highway there at milepost 24.5. But managers caution that there is enough of a fire presence in the area to maintain Level 2. North of the Level 2 evacuations, past milepost 24.5, Forest Service campgrounds remain closed and the forest closure order remains intact. Now, the fire has spread to over 4,100 acres with 677 firefighters currently deployed on the fire lines. A California Interagency Incident Management Team number 5 assumed command of the Cougar Creek fire Sunday. Managers briefed the community at an informational meeting last night in Entiat. They sound cautiously optimistic, but they also warned that the forecast for hotter weather later this week could change everything.
The main fire here is at about 4,200 plus acres, holding very well, but I just want to make sure we're perfectly clear. Right now, I'm not going to get too much into the weather because he's coming, but once he explains the weather with the heat that's coming and wind at the end of the week, there could potentially be some movement in that particular area, or we might have to think about where this fire is going again and possibly going to level 3. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that, but right now it's looking really good, and that just all depends upon the weather and what that's going to do.
The lightning-caused fire is burning 20 miles northwest of Entiat in heavy timber, dead and down timber, some beetle-infested timber stands as well. Also some old burn areas from the Tyee Creek fire from 1994. Much of the fire is in steep and inaccessible terrain, but firefighters are making progress in putting out spot fires, building hand and dozer lines, reducing fuel loads north of Plain, and providing structural protection along Entiat River Road. Folks were also informed last night of another fire that just started. This one is in the Blue Creek area, just north of the Lake Wenatchee area, and that fire was at about 50 acres, and they were just responding to that yesterday with some smoke jumpers apparently. Meanwhile, the Wenatchee Valley firefighting officials says crews are responding to wildland fires a lot quicker and with more resources this season. Douglas County Fire District 2 Chief Dave Baker reflects on 3 major brush fires that could have caused significant damage if not for the swift response by local, state, and federal agencies.
We've had 3 major fires, if you will. One was the Baird Springs Stew Miller right at the base of the Trinidad. We had another fire by Mansfield Landing, and then the Turtle Rock fire. And what we are noticing as a fire district is we are getting resources from the state. They're not waiting on these fires anymore. They're sending a lot of resources our ways, helicopters, crews, engines, that kind of stuff. So we're putting a bunch of people on these fires, and from what I'm seeing in our fires is we're getting containment on those fires a lot quicker.
Washington State Public Lands Commissioner Hillary Franz said the goal is to keep those fires as small as possible. State Department of Natural Resources, or DNR, changed its approach to firefighting last year. Attack from the air early, pre-position resources, and have agencies trained together before the season starts. A Seattle man is dead after a mountain climbing accident in Chelan County's backcountry. Sheriff Brian Burnett reports the 44-year-old man reportedly lost his footing while climbing Buck Mountain about 17 miles north of Lake Wenatchee. The sheriff said the man fell about 50 feet down a steep slope. His friends hiked down to him and rendered aid, but he reportedly succumbed to his injuries. A U.S. Navy helicopter equipped with a hoist from Whidbey Naval Air Station was flown in to recover the body after failed attempts by Chelan and King County Sheriff's helicopters to access that area. The 2 remaining hikers were able to make their way out on their own. They're okay. The victim's name is pending the notification of his family. An Okanagan woman died from injuries when she crashed her motorcycle Sunday afternoon about 4 miles north of Brewster. State Patrol report identified the victim as 44-year-old Jennifer A. Morgan. She was northbound apparently on US 97 when she crashed into a guardrail. She was transported to Three Rivers Hospital in Brewster, where she died from those injuries. Also, vehicular homicide charges are pending in a fatal traffic accident that occurred over the weekend in Grant County. State troopers say it happened Saturday afternoon on Highway 17. Troopers say 37-year-old Brent Reiner of Tacoma and his passenger, 37-year-old Sarah Sherman, also from Tacoma, were ejected from their vehicle after it crashed about 7 miles south of Coulee City. Sherman was dead at the scene. Troopers say alcohol was involved and criminal charges are pending. Highway 17 was closed for about an hour Saturday due to that investigation. Well, today is your last chance to be heard on the subject of Bitcoin mining before the Chelan County PUD Board of Commissioners. A public hearing is scheduled on a final plan for restructuring electrical rates for that growing cryptocurrency industry. Now, the most recent discussions have focused on electrical transmission and distribution challenges related to requests for power to serve large energy loads and how they would be factored into a new rate class for Bitcoin mining operations. General Manager Steve Wright said the volatility of the Bitcoin market requires a cautious approach.
Looking at cryptocurrency and thinking of it generally as being essentially lemons, that they create a lot of problems on our systems. But we've been trying to also think about how do you turn lemons into lemonade. So how do we turn this into something that can create value for our existing customer owners and at the same time potentially create an economic development opportunity and maybe bring some things here that bring value to this. So a lot of our thinking regarding the pricing in particular has been along the lines of, so what's the right price that actually accomplishes that goal? What you'll be seeing today is our best sense of a rate that it would be positive to neutral for existing customer owners.
Wright shared those comments at a PUD meeting 2 weeks ago. The final public hearing is set for today, starting at 1 o'clock at the Confluence Technology Center at Old Station. Well, the Washington State Public Works Board announced Friday that they've awarded over $5 million in pre-construction loans to 10 cities, counties, and water districts throughout the state. One local community is part of that grant money. Rock Island will receive $231,000 to improve that city's water system. It's just the second time in 5 years the board has had funding available to issue these low-interest loans for public infrastructure improvements to roads, water, sanitary sewer, and street systems. Okay, Washington State's primary election ballots are due back at the auditor's office tomorrow. So far, less than half the ballots that were mailed out to voters in Chelan and Douglas counties have been returned. Douglas County Auditor Thad Duvall on Friday said he was holding on to his earlier prediction, though, of a 50% voter turnout.
We're about 20% return right now, with a little over 4,000 ballots in and about 21,000 ballots mailed out. And so far we're going okay. We're going to need a push to make 50%, it looks like, here at the end this last week before the election. And wanted to get information out to people that the judges in Douglas County are not on the primary ballot. We're getting a lot of phone calls about that. They go straight to the general. They'll be able to vote on our judges in the general. And then in addition to that, we're having a lot of people that are overvoting in especially the Senate race because there's so many candidates, and they should only vote for one. So just some things we wanted to get out there.
And again, Dan, I know you talked to Skip Moore, our Chelan County Auditor, on Friday about the returns, and when you talked to him, it was about 26.7%
right around there
of the over 30,250 ballots that were mailed out. So, hey, folks, get on the stick, get those ballots back in the mail. Better yet, just drop them off in one of the collection boxes and make sure that your vote is counted. And of course, stay with us here at NCW Live because we'll have the returns for you right after the polls officially close tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
It's kind of funny. Normally, this is the time of the year where it's pretty quiet news-wise, but that's not the case this week at all. There's a lot going on. The primary election that you mentioned, and there's a lot of choices to be made. You know, you got to do your homework, and you got to sit down with that big piece of paper and make your vote count. And as Steve mentioned, if you plan on mailing it, and of course, it's postage free now, you don't need a stamp.
Right.
But if you plan on mailing it, I would mail it today.
Yeah.
At least, you know, it makes you feel better. But your best bet is just drop them by the drop boxes all over North Central Washington. You can't miss them, and then you know that the auditor's office is going to get it in time. And then we have the Bitcoin hearing with the Chelan County PUD commissioners today. Big city council meeting at Wenatchee City Hall on
that's
Thursday
coming
night.
up Thursday night. Yeah, that's right.
Lots going on. It's going to be a busy week.
Very busy week this week, news-wise.
And we remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you're out and about and you don't really know what's going on, we have a team that lets you know what's going on. It's our news team, and we put together a newscast that we're quite proud of at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Grant Olson in the anchor chair. By the way, Grant played golf with me yesterday.
Oh, he did?
He struggled with the flat stick. He hits the driver very well.
I thought you were sick.
Huh?
I thought you were sick.
No, that was Saturday. This was yesterday.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Okay.
Yeah, Sunday. And Grant hits the ball well with the driver. Once he gets on the green, it's problematic, to say the least. But we had fun. So
The old
Grant
saying
Olson-
is you putt for dough.
That's right. Well, he didn't win a lot of dough yesterday. We'll just put it at that. Grant Olson in the anchor chair, Eric Grandstrom handles sports. Again, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Also available for you to watch on demand online just about 5 o'clock Monday through Friday. You can watch it via our Facebook page or on our website at ncwlife.com. And we recommend that you bookmark our homepage, ncwlife.com, and go to it often, because that's a great place and an essential tool for local information. And you can be a part of our news team, Steve. Tell
Same
folks how they
holds
can do
true.
it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Same places you can contact us by the web page, also through Facebook and Twitter. And better yet, email. Our address is news@ncwlife.com. And for breaking news, we have a hotline for you, 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL.
Still lots to get to. We got sports coming up. Mariners, whoop, Apple Sox, woo. Also more from the Seahawks training camp. Apple Sox may make the playoffs. This is a remarkable comeback. They're playing really good baseball.
Mariners, they lost 3 of 4, but they gained a game on Houston.
They did, but the key here is Oakland.
Well,
Oakland is just on fire.
But they end the season playing against their own division.
Yeah, they always do that.
So
That's how they
there's
stack
plenty
it up.
of time to catch up.
Oh yeah, and it's only August. I mean, there's still a lot of baseball to be played. I'm saying that because my Yankees got swept.
Yeah.
We got sports. We have the obscure holiday. We have today in history and birthdays to get to, and everyone's entitled to Mike Manati's opinion. And local author Keith Madsen. His book is out. We'll talk to Keith in the second half of the program. Lots to get to between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching, that's my copy. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee. That's my copy, Steve, on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
23 minutes after the hour from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee. I am Dan Kuntz. 65 degrees outside of our studios. 97 today. Triple digits coming our way on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, up to 105 with smoke and haze all week long. Let's do sports. The Wenatchee Apple Sox complete their first series sweep of the season with an 11-4 win over the Victoria Harbor Cats. Last night, Connor McCord allowed just 1 earned run over 7 innings. He picks up the victory. He also batted cleanup, helped his own cause. He drove in 3. Leading 6-4 in the 8th, Wenatchee decided to score some insurance runs and put the game away.
You update the score?
Nicely done, Apple Sox. The video courtesy of the Apple Sox Facebook live feed. So Wenatchee improves to 14-11 in the second half of the season, and they are now a game and a half back of Yakima Valley for that final playoff spot. The Pippins finished their schedule with a 3-game series at Corvallis, while the Apple Sox head north to Taclona to wrap up their season with 3 games against the Falcons. Taking a look at the Les Schwab scoreboard. West Coast League Baseball from yesterday. Nick DiCarlo, Cameron Campbell, Tyler Lash, and Chris Arpan, all homered. Yakima Valley beats Walla Walla yesterday. The final was 9-3. The Pippins lost 2 of 3 to the Sweets, though, 15-9, and they'd lead the second half standings. Brody Barnum's bases loaded fielder's choice scored Sam Nowitzki in the top of the 11th inning. And Portland popped Port Angeles 5-4. The Pickles will meet Corvallis in the WCL South playoffs. That is already set in stone. Matt McClain, 2 for 4 with a run and a couple of RBIs. He leads Bellingham to a 4-2 win over Kelowna on Sunday, thanks to the Bells' first place finish in the first half of the season. They're already in the North Division playoffs. Bellingham waits to see if they'll take on Wenatchee or Yakima Valley in the postseason. Colby Sommers and 2 relievers allowed 1 run, 4 hits. Corvallis over Cowlitz. The final there was 4-1. Chandler Anderson led the way offensively for the Knights. He went 3 for 5, scored a run. And Ian Nowak was 3 for 5, including a 3-run home run to lead Bend to an 11-6 non-league victory over Gresham to wrap up the regular season. On the West Coast League schedule for today, Yakima Valley is at Corvallis. Cowlitz hosts Walla Walla. Wenatchee, of course, is at Kelowna, and Victoria hosts Portland. All of those games, first pitch at 6:35. Well, after stumbling out of the gate at the Cal Ripken Majors 60 World Series on Friday, Wenatchee bounced back. Over the weekend, representing the Pacific Northwest, the Wenatchee 12U team lost its opener to the host team, Phoenix City, Alabama, 10-1. And then the Virginia State champs, they lost that game 17-5 on Friday. Then Saturday, Wenatchee shut out China 12-0, and then they won 4-1 over the Middle Atlantic champions on Sunday. The tournament finishes pool play today, and then they seed for bracket play beginning tomorrow. Go Local 9. Well, the Wenatchee Valley Rams continue their winning ways on Saturday. In the first round of the Western Washington Football Alliance playoffs, the Rams no trouble weathering the Kitsap Storm. The final was 50-12 at Leib-Ofta Field at the Apple Bowl. Next up, second round playoff game Saturday. Again, Leib-Ofta Field at the Apple Bowl, 6 o'clock kickoff there. The Mariners the Bats finally woke up with the series finale against Toronto on Sunday. They blasted 3 home runs, 6-3 was the final. Their 5-game losing streak has now come to an end. Kyle Seager homered twice. Nelson Cruz hit his 29th home run of the season. He also drove in 4 runs to lead the Mariners. Toronto, though, ended up taking 3 of 4, of course, from Seattle. Mariners' postseason hopes continue to fade. So let's take a look at the Les Schwab scoreboard from the American League West on yesterday. Trevor Cahill and 3 relievers combined on a 5-hit shutout of Detroit. Oakland wins again. They downed the Tigers 6-0. The A's have won 6 in a row after the weekend sweep of Detroit, and now they lead Seattle by 2.5 games in the American League wildcard's second playoff spot. Also, because the Red Sox swept the Yankees, Oakland now just trails New York by just 2.5 games for the first wildcard playoff spot. Jose Ramirez smacked his major league leading tying 33rd home run. Cleveland knocked off the Angels. The final was 4-3. Mark Trumbo belted a pair of 2-run home runs to lead Baltimore to a 9-6 win over Texas. And Brian Dozier had a 2-run double in the first inning. Cody Bellinger's RBI double in the third was the difference. Dodgers salvaged the season finale against Houston. The final there was 3-2. And the Seahawks held a mock game on Saturday. During training camp, the first team offense scored on all 4 of their drives, all 4 touchdowns. Russell Wilson touchdown passes. Afterwards, Wilson was asked about working with Brandon Marshall, who caught a touchdown pass in the game.
Well, Brandon Marshall's a guy who's caught over thousands of yards, has done amazing things, one of the toughest guys to defend in the National Football League for years and years, and he still has it, and just to see him make plays and the communication. He loves the game, the passion that he has, the thoughts, the ideas. He loves the end zone. He loves knowing how to make plays, and he's doing that. So that's been key, I think he's super impressive. And it's not just him; it's everybody across the board at the receiver position right now. That's the most exciting position, that and running back. Running back's pretty cool to see too. But those 2 positions have been exciting to watch the personnel that we have, and the different types of players and the guys and to see Brandon Marshall's experience once again show up today, it's definitely evident.
Seahawks are getting ready to take on the Indianapolis Colts in the first preseason game of the year. It is Thursday night at CenturyLink Field. Football is almost here. 29 minutes after the hour in this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. Time for the obscure holiday of the day today. Today is Wiggle Your Toes Day. Here's some happy feet. You got to have happy feet. The feet are the foundation of the body. Ladies and gentlemen, you have happy feet, the rest of the body falls right into line. But unfortunately, we always cover up our feet, cover up our toes. We got shoes on, we got socks on. Toes need freedom. Toes need to breathe. They're just cramped inside sneakers and shoes all day long, and that's not good. You want your toes to move about freely, and they should. So air out your toes today. Do it at work, I don't care. And just wiggle them around so everybody can see how proud you are of your toes. Of course, the best time to wiggle your toes on a hot August day is in the pool, or in the stream, or in the lake, or over the dock. Wiggle your toes today. Let them know that you love them and you haven't forgotten about them. Because they're just way down there at the end of the feet. You know, they're kind of people forget about the toes. Wiggle your toes today and do it barefoot. It's good for you. 30 minutes after the hour. Today in history. Judge Crater, please call your office. Judge Crater, please call your office. This was the running joke in the 1930s and 40s. The, I don't know what's the best way to put it. He disappeared 88 years ago today, August 6, 1930. New York State Supreme Court Justice Joseph Force Crater stepped into a taxi on West 45th Street in Midtown Manhattan. Never seen again. Gone. One of the most mysterious missing person cases of the 20th century. Massive publicity. Nobody really knew he had disappeared for about 10 days. His wife was on vacation in Maine. He disappeared on August 6th. The headline you see there was from August 26th because that's when the New York State Supreme Court was supposed to go back into session and Judge Crater didn't show up. His safety deposit box was emptied and he had about $5,000 in cash when he disappeared. He may have disappeared of his own volition, but one of the strangest missing person cases of all time happened on this date. Judge Joseph Force Crater disappeared, never heard from again. And this is the 73rd anniversary of the bomb, World War II. In Hiroshima, Japan, devastated, just devastated. The atomic bomb, little boy, dropped by the United States B-29, the Enola Gay. About 70,000 people died instantly, and tens of thousands of people would later succumb to radiation poisoning and various burns over the course of the next couple of years. But it happened on this date 73 years ago, and even after that, Japan didn't give up, so they dropped another one a few days later, the 73rd anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima, Japan. And finally, birthdays. Just one, but it's a big one. I love Lucy and she loves me. We're as happy as two can be. Lucille Ball was born in this state in 1911, died at the age of 77 in 1989. The very first inductee into the Television Hall of Fame back in 1984, Kennedy Center Honor in 1986, of course. I Love Lucy, followed by the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, followed by The Lucy Show, followed by Here's Lucy, and finally Life with Lucy, the final sitcom, which did not last very long. Her production studio that she owned and ran, Desilu Productions, produced Mission Impossible, produced Star Trek, and of course I Love Lucy pioneered television, a number of methods that sitcoms still use today, basically filming in front of a live studio audience and using multiple cameras. The first show to do that was I Love Lucy. Now everybody does it. Lucille Ball was born in the state in 1911. All right, 32 minutes after the hour, everybody is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. We'll find out what's on Mike's mind. Don't forget, Street Talk and other stuff comes your way live from this very studio at 10 o'clock with Mike McNally. So Mike's coming up, and then my conversation with Keith Madsen, this fascinating book. There it is, The Sons and Daughters of Toussaint. We'll be talking to Keith when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Hi everyone, Brent. Hey, don't mind, we're just making a commercial here, Randall. You're okay. Hi everyone, Brent here. You're gonna love this. When you see this, come down and see us behind Nissan. I can do it. I can do it. The all-new 2018 Nissan. That's done, I'm done. We can't do it. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee. Better performance, better.
Did you know that our pets can put on extra weight just like us? Obesity is the most common preventable disease in dogs and cats. Your pet's excess weight can lead to health issues like joint pain, arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, and more. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff at Paws and Claws Veterinarian Hospital care about your pets, and they can help you keep them lean and healthy. Call Paws and Claws today at 888-PAWS or find them on the corner of 4th and Isle in East Wenatchee.
Looking for a hands-on, high-demand job? Now is the perfect time to get trained for a career in manufacturing. Washington currently has a shortage of skilled tradespeople, and retirements are making room for more. The machining program at Wenatchee Valley College is designed to give students the foundation to excel in this precision industry. Don't wait, there are only 15 spots left. A 2-year degree and a 1-year certificate are available. Learn more at wvc.edu/machining.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
For plumbing, heating, or cooling repair, Patriot will be right there.
Is your inefficient home comfort system wasting money? This Lennox dealer can help.
Save money on your energy bills with an efficient Lennox system from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call Patriot today.
Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling will give your home a hug.
Get up to $1,500 in rebates or special financing.
Walk and Roll Wenatchee's Asian Express is fast, fresh food. Wenatchee Roll's new Poke Hawaiian Fresh Salad Bar is the best. Fresh greens, fresh seafood, and handmade sauces. You know what you want. At Walk and Roll, create your own style meal. Hot off the line chicken, beef, and veggie plates. Lunch or dinner to match your appetites. Fresh sushi, hot entrees, Poke Fresh Salad Bar. It's new. It's Walk and Roll Wenatchee, fast, fresh food your way. Located on 5th and Mission.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, we recently, my wife and I, got one of those Amazon Echo things. You know, those things named Alexa that you can talk to, and she'll play music. She'll tell you what the capital of New Jersey is. It's Trenton, by the way. Or they'll give you a weather report. Now, I kind of like this thing. I mean, I can tell Alexa to play some Stevie Ray Vaughan, or I can tell her to play the blues, and she will. And she doesn't give me any argument. She'll even turn up the volume, too. But the real reason I like Alexa, because it's nice to have someone in my house who's finally listening to me. This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
J&J Snack Foods makes a lot of dough-filled products. It's really hard to attract labor in this area. We've reached out to Goodwill, and Goodwill came through to help us get that achieved. John started here at the plant a couple of months ago. We promoted him to a dough maker. He's doing well.
I'm actually doing great. I'm finally getting more notice and appreciated for my work here. I love the products we make here.
If you're struggling finding the labor that you need, reach out to Goodwill. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Lake Chelan Mailboxes is a small place with a lot to offer. Job one is shipping and receiving from A to Z. They pack it, they label it, they ship it. But did you know we also offer notary service, online computer access, legal forms, copies, greeting cards, and of course, mailboxes. Chelan Mailboxes, everything you need in one small package.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Monday. I'm Dan Kuntz. My guest today is a retired minister who's fairly new to the Wenatchee Valley. He and his wife Kathy moved here not long ago, and he has done a lot of things in his life. He retired from the ministry. He teaches chess to young kids. He likes to act in community theater, and he has dabbled in writing a novel. And this is his very first book, Keith, is that correct?
This is my first one in traditional publishing, yes.
Keith Madsen is my guest today. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, the book is called The Sons and Daughters of Toussaint. We're going to talk about this book here in just a couple of minutes. But first, you're a first-timer, Keith, so a little something about yourself.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was a minister for 41 years as pastor in Kansas, various churches in Kansas, as well as in Washington State. And I really enjoyed being a pastor, American Baptist. And so I retired in 2015, and since then I've been busier than I've ever been. So, but I do teach chess to children here in Wenatchee, in both Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. Ken Roy and Grant in East Wenatchee, and I've taught at the after-school enrichment program in the Wenatchee School District in 4 schools: Lincoln, Columbia, John Newberry, and let's see, there's one I'm trying to remember, and I can't ever remember.
Well, they know.
All 4 of them. Yes, that's right.
They know.
And that'll expand this year. We'll be this coming fall. We'll be doing more schools.
In this age of video games and phones and over video stimulation, is teaching kids chess a hard sell?
Not really. Part of what I tell the kids is, in many respects, chess is like a video game. You're just using 2 people. But it's like a video game in the sense that, when you're first learning a video game, you lose at some point very quickly.
Oh, yeah. That's part of learning it, right?
That's right. That's right. You don't know where all the traps are. You don't know where all the dangers are. And so as a result of that, you have to learn by losing. Now that's a hard lesson for kids to learn, but in chess, that's what you have to do also. You have to learn by losing. And if you don't use that, and it's the same thing in life. We try to teach that chess is a lot like life. If you don't learn from your losses, then you'll just continue to repeat them. You have to learn from your losses. So we try to teach them not only about chess, but about life in the process.
And my guess is, I don't know, I'm spitballing, my guess is there's probably video games out there where you take on a computer and you can decide how good the computer is to match your level, and then
that's right. You can play chess on computer, and they have ratings that you can achieve playing chess on computer. But it's a lot more fun, I think, when you're playing with another person in a group, because it's more interactive. And we have tournaments, and so the kids always want to win the tournament.
So what grades? I want to say when I was in elementary school, I want to say it was either 5th or 6th grade when we actually learned chess for a couple of weeks. Is that about?
Well, actually, anymore, that's late.
Okay.
I learned my chess teaching at Chess for Life in Bellevue and Seattle area. And they are now pioneering a program experimenting with teaching pre-K chess.
Wow.
And they are very excited about it. I've not tried any pre-K kids, but I have, in my teaching here in Wenatchee. There was a kindergarten girl, Hispanic girl, that was at one of my schools and really did quite well. And she really enjoyed it. And so I've taught actually several kindergarten age kids, and all the way up through generally, we 5th and 6th grades about as high, although 8th graders, we've had some of those too. And so, you can learn. It's like, in many respects, it's like language. They've said many times that kids can often learn a new language a lot easier than adults can. And in some respects, learning the strategies of chess is like learning a language. And young kids can learn it.
Why does chess remain popular after centuries and centuries of play? Because games come and go, but chess has been around forever.
That's right.
Why?
I think it's because there are so many classic aspects to this strategy. And you learn so many things about life. You learn that you learn a can-do attitude. It was one of the important things. But you also learn you have to consider several options when you're making decisions about chess and how to play. And you don't want to just rush into a decision. And so that's part of it. But part of it, too, is revival that has come through various personalities and people within the culture. Just a couple of years ago, there was a movie, The Queen of Katwe, which was about a very poor Ugandan young girl who was living in a shack and thrown out of the shack, you know. But she learned chess, and in that process learned that she can overcome a lot of the obstacles that she was facing in life.
And it became her escape.
It became her escape, and yeah, and it was a very not just an escape, because that has a connotation of a flight or a fantasy.
Yeah, but
it was a way of her of handling these challenges, right. And she became the champion of Uganda in chess, and in many respects a player in the world field. There's also a Norwegian chess player who's popularized it. This guy is incredible. He's at 12 years old, he challenged and tied the world chess champion. Wow. And he was 12 years old. And now he takes on like 10 champions with his back to the boards, simply memorizing where all the boards are, and he beats 10 champions, not even looking at the board. And it's just incredible. Of course, Bobby Fischer popularized it back then. Mm-hmm. So periodically you have these people who are just incredible at the game, and they popularize the
Are you a
sport.
good teacher or a good chess player or a combination of both?
I think probably better teacher than I'm a chess player.
Okay.
No, I can play chess well, I think. I enjoy it. I'm not a world champion. I'm not, one of the best you'll ever find in terms of playing chess, but I relate well to kids, and so as that happens, then I can teach them chess.
How did you end up teaching chess here in the North Central Washington area? Did you call them up and say I'm pretty good and I can help, or
no?
I
started in Seattle area.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was learning it then, and when I came here, I really wanted to keep that going. So I started contacting the school leaders, the principals, and teachers, and just started going in that way. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned your travels in your ministry, Kansas to the Pacific Northwest, North Bend to Issaquah, and you and your wife Kathy moved to Wenatchee
in November of last year.
So what brought you here?
Well, a couple of things. One, money. The prices of homes in Seattle area are just. Phew. Now, of course, they're going up here too, but they're much further behind in that process of ascent. So we were able to sell our house for a very nice profit in North Bend, and we're building a house up in Fancher Heights in East Wenatchee, and it'll be a nice house. And we're only able to build that because of so much profit we were able to make after our last house. So that was one of the things. The other is my daughter at the time was living in Moses Lake, and now my daughter has moved also to Wenatchee, and my grandson, one of my grandsons, I have 10 grandchildren. One of them, Abel, he's 4 years old, and he and his mother moved to this area. So, both of those things together are part of the reason why I'm here.
You like it here?
Oh yes, I do. I really enjoy the mountains, and I enjoy the view. I enjoy the bicycle loop around the Columbia River, and I've taken that quite a few times. So yes, I enjoy it.
How much homework did it take you and your wife Kathy to decide this is where we're going to retire to?
Oh boy, that was quite a bit. We were trying to find a place that we could build a nice house at a lower cost, but also that we were able to enjoy the outdoors. We lived in North Bend, and we still miss somewhat the high trees, and we had 50 or 60 Douglas fir on our property back in North Bend.
You don't have any of it, Fancher Heights. Just a quick heads up on that, Keith. I haven't figured that one out.
No, I don't have those, but it's a great view.
It's a great view. Keith Madsen is my guest. He is the author of the book of The Sons and Daughters of Toussaint. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dig into this book and talk about the inspiration for writing it and what the book is about. All of that with Keith when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCW Life channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Lakeshland Mailboxes is a small place with a lot to offer. Job one is shipping and receiving from A to Z. They pack it, they label it, they ship it. But did you know we also offer notary service, online computer access, legal forms, copies, greeting cards, and of course, mailboxes. Schland Mailboxes, everything you need in one small package.
The NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life channel is your local TV station.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
And welcome back. My guest today is Keith Madsen, author of the book, The Sons and Daughters of Toussaint. It is a novel with a fascinating story, I guess is the best way you put it. It certainly has a unique structure to it. Give folks a general idea, Keith. Give us a plot synopsis without giving it all away on the book.
Yes, Sons and Daughters of Toussaint is about a descendant of Toussaint Louverture. Toussaint was really the inspiration and leader of the Haitian Revolution. But he was tricked by Napoleon into going to what he thought was going to be a time of talking about the independence of Haiti, and he was tricked by him and arrested and taken to a castle high in the mountains in France, where he died.
So there is there is actual real history involved in this.
Absolutely.
That is interwoven with your...
Absolutely, but Toussaint was one of the most admired characters of his era. And it was because he was fighting for the true rights of the people of Haiti. And at the time, the French had the Declaration of the Rights of Man. And it had to do with, it was really instrumental in our own revolution and in our own democracy. But they weren't living it out in regard to Haiti. And Toussaint led this revolution, and he had this vision of a society where both black and whites could live together in prosperity. And that's what he wanted to have happen. Well, the revolution eventually occurred after Toussaint died, but it was led by Jean-Jacques Dessalines, who was a very angry person because he had been seriously abused as a slave. And he wanted to wipe out all the whites of Haiti at that time.
Which I suppose were French, most of them,
yes,
correct? Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. But Toussaint had this vision. So the revolution occurred, it affected the whole world because our country was really vastly influenced by the Haitian Revolution in the development of our Civil War because that was about the freedom of black people from this slavery. So he had this vision. And yet, what has Haiti become today?
A third world country.
It is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
At the time of the revolution, it was the wealthiest country in the New World. Their economy was built on coffee and sugar and great wealth. But when the revolution occurred and the country was the first in the West being led by black people, the white world didn't want to do business with them anymore. No more buying coffee from Haiti or sugar, so they went other places. And so there were other reasons why that went down. But the book is about a descendant of Toussaint who looks at the country, and he loves the country, but he looks at the country and says, this is not the vision my ancestor had for what Haiti should become. And he has a vision for it becoming a prosperous and free country where people can thrive again. And you know, FDR talked about the 4 freedoms, and he talked about those freedoms being freedom of worship, freedom of speech, freedom from fear, and freedom from want. And he says, we are not a free country. We do not have freedom from fear. We do not have freedom from want. And he wanted to have that kind of freedom for Haiti. So he starts this nonviolent revolution to bring Haiti back. Now, he has a relationship with a beautiful Haitian woman.
Oh, you got to have that.
You got to have that. You know, see, people read novels for different reasons, of course. But the most popular reason, to tell the truth, for reading a novel has to do with a good romance.
Sure.
But I think that a good romance has a background in something bigger. And that's what this is about, too. Well, anyway, this young woman wants to go to the United States and become a model. And she gets an opportunity to do that and becomes a world-famous model. And so she wants to do that, but she also has this romance. So she's torn between. And it is in that tension that the story develops between the romance that they have together, but also with that, this vision of creating a new Haiti. And actually in time, Marie Noel, who is the young woman's name, becomes enthralled by the revolution also. And she is able to use her modeling career to help in that process. And so that's kind of what the book's about. It's about changing a country. You know, people in the United States, of course, we talk about changing the world. And some people say, well, one person can't change the world. But Margaret Mead is the one who was told to never doubt that a small group of committed, thoughtful citizens can change the world, because that's the only thing that ever has. And that's what this is about.
Absolutely. It's fascinating. The book goes back and forth in time. You go back to the early 1800s and you jump ahead to the present day and back again, and yet it flows. It has a nice flow to it.
Good, yeah.
And it has maps too. We like that. we got 2 minutes left. How did a retired minister end up writing a book about Haiti? My guess is you've been there and you had some sort of epiphany
I went there
or something.
4 times as a short-term mission work to Haiti, helping them to build a school, because education is a key to bettering the situation in Haiti. I went there 4 times and fell in love with the country. And of course, all this after the 2010 earthquake. And I think that brought people alive to the situation of Haiti, because there are mission groups going down there from the United States all the time, because they care about what's happening in that country.
And here it is 8 years later after the earthquake, and where is Haiti now? I mean, they've kind of fallen off our radar.
Well, it has fallen off our radar, but that doesn't mean it's fallen off the earth.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of improvement going on in Haiti, but there's a lot more to do.
Well, Keith, this is a fascinating book, and you can get it, I suppose, Amazon, or just Google it.
Amazon, you can get it off Amazon using the title, The Sons and Daughters of Toussaint, or my author's name, Keith Madsen.
And if there's people out there who would like you to come down, maybe a service organization or a group to talk about your book?
I would go anywhere around this area to talk about this book.
Is there another book coming from you, Keith?
There hopefully is another book coming from me, but we'll wait on that to see how that comes along.
And your wife, Kathy, puts up with your writing?
Oh, she does. She's very supportive.
Good. Good. Well, this is a great book. It's fascinating from what I've been able to read. Can I keep this?
You may keep that copy.
I love to read books.
You may keep that copy.
I'm a big book
Absolutely.
reader. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, this is a great book. Check it out. Go to Amazon and just Google in The Sons and Daughters of Toussaint, and you're going to find it. And it's always nice to see a local author make good. And welcome to the Wenatchee Valley.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it's good
that.
to have you here.
Thank you, Dan.
My guest tomorrow is Captain Edgar Reinfeld from the Wenatchee Police Department. Until then, bye-bye.